Hey, and we are live. Hello, everyone. My name is Phil. A warm welcome to each and everyone. Greetings from Let Us Talk It and Cogent team. So, we welcome you again for another session of Let Us Talk It Zipinar. So, the Let Us Talk It Zipinar is initiated by Cogent Integrated Business Solutions. They are based in Detroit, Michigan, and they wanted to give back to the community, which is in the form of free knowledge sharing. So, we created these free webinars in order to impact the world through knowledge sharing because that's one of the treasures that's not expensive but sometimes overlooked. So we brought you a returning guest speaker from our previous webinars from last year, I believe, and he's here and I'm very excited and I cannot cancel his enthusiasm into sharing this knowledge that he has acquired and wanted to share to the community as well. So, without further ado, let me introduce you to the topic first. So, the topic is prompt power, AI, the base for new age office politics. So, the hidden workplace the hidden workplace game nobody is talking about. And for this topic, uh, I will introduce to you Mr. Jitangshu Chandel, founder of Target Blues Training Solutions, and will give the topic to us. You can take over, Jitangshu.
Thanks, Phil, and it's always a pleasure to be here. This is perhaps my third or the fourth Zipinar that I'm delivering, and it's always so exciting, to be able to come over here, share something that we've been working on, and as and when we're able to create some sort of a knowledge back around something, it's always something which I feel should be shared with the world. So this particular and specifically, before I move ahead, I would like to introduce to the audience who I am. I am Jitanshu Singh Chandel. I am a corporate trainer and I am a leadership coach. Along with this, I have founded a company called Target Blues Training Solutions. We are based out in India, Chandigarh. We've been working in the field of delivering high quality trainings, high quality knowledge systems to the corporate sector globally. And through our efforts, what we've been able to create is a trust amongst not just the entrepreneurs, but amongst people who work together on certain topics, certain issues that generally do not find limelight. But when they are left unattended, they become so serious that business operations get hampered on a daily basis. One of the topics that is very close to my heart, and I have been working on it for the past, let's say, a decade or so, is employee morale. It's the motivation, and it is something that actually cannot be ignored anymore. We want to extract high quality performances from our employees. We are ready to give them exquisite tools. We are ready to give them trainings. We are ready to invest on them. But many a times, what we forget as business owners, HR managers, a morale system needs to be created alongside the training systems on tech skills. I often say this in most of my sessions that keeping surveillances on our employees to test their performances is hard surveillance. You're testing their skill sets, you're testing whether they're able to apply those skill sets on the required jobs. Are they able to actually deliver the goods? We have various programs, we give sessions, we give technical advisories, we declare SOPs, we even create PIPs. But do we really work on something which is called soft surveillance? Something that is often ignored. Even if it is in place, many times it is not attended to properly. It is put on the back burner. Once it goes there, rarely does it come forward until and unless there is a huge crisis that has germinated, something which has come as an institutional protocol, or let's say it has come as a government compliance. Then we bring it forward, and then we have to haphazardly create systems, and then we implant so many, we actually inject so many supplements into that failing system, thinking that it is going to revive overnight. It doesn't just happen like that. Soft surveillances, creating foolproof systems that are going to impact employee morale, need to be attended strongly. And that is why this particular topic has been chosen. The advent of AI in the last 2 years or so has been powerfully changing how global businesses are working. We are no longer in the age where technology can now be ignored, it cannot be upgraded, or we can wait for another set of 5 years or a couple of years for it to take full impact, and then we're going to work around it. Spinning heads around applying technology into your systems is a dire need these days. Educational systems have started adopting this. They have started delivering high quality skill sets to college going students in their engineerings and their computer application degrees. They're giving them all the right tools to be able to become employable on day one. But what is missing is that we're looking at the usage of artificial intelligence as a compliance tool largely at entry level jobs. We're looking at them from the perspective of jobs that are coming from lower middle management. And a strong sense of insecurity, or let's say a strong sense of disbelief, is being observed in the higher middle, the higher level management, where we are observing that there is a sense of resistance in accepting AI. Along with the resistance, even if they're accepting it in scraps, they're not very confident. The confidence building measures, when they are placed in by the organization, are not bearing fruit. And ultimately, what is happening is organizations have to fall to those who are compliant in artificial intelligence usage in businesses. The dependency has turned out to be so high that at a certain juncture, without the requisite experience which is required to be able to be given a position in the organization or elevated from a certain position to the next one, it is being random. I have been working with business owners for the past 2 years, and they are actually sharing their concerns that they do not just have a choice. They have to promote people to senior positions without considering the required experience, problem solving skills, their experience in handling clientele, their ability to be able to communicate, the ethics, professionalism, the mission and the vision of the organization, not just to the client, but to the teams that they're going to lead. And slowly, a very serious gap has come in. And this serious gap, if not checked now, will result to exactly what the title of today's session is: AI, the new age politics. It is going to breed that. It is going to create such complex situations for the human resource managers of the near future. It will become extremely difficult to keep morale of employees intact. I will be sharing with you. Phil, do I have the sharing rights?
Yes, you can. Yeah, use a share
Thank you
screen.
so much. If this presentation is visible to everybody,
It's loading. Hold on. Yes, it is now.
prompt spa, AI, the foundation of new age politics, the hidden workplace game nobody is talking about. The shift nobody saw coming. All power sources and organizations largely dependent on position and hierarchy, experiences, expertise, information ownership, access to leadership, resource control. There were certain set systems in place where everything was happening step by step. It was taking shape over the years. There was a control by the HR department and the management. And ultimately, if you see the left side of this particular slide, you would see that at every juncture, this is the exact points where in an organization you saw people controlling power. Those who had the position had the authority of decision. Those who were higher in hierarchy had the the power of decision for financial, not just acquirance, but further usage of it. Those with higher experience were considered appropriate for leadership positions. If a young person showing expertise would be channeled and funneled into middle leadership positions, gaining experience over the period of time, and then as the other person moves up into the hierarchy, would replace that person. Information ownership. Expertise brings in the knowledge, and the knowledge brings in the ownership to information. Researching abilities, networking, knowing people everywhere, to be able to derive adequate information at the right time and then producing it for proper usage. Access to leadership. There were certain roles and responsibilities that had direct access to leadership. They were able to convey that kind of a message, and they had the authority to filter out information of what is going upstairs. And finally, resource control. I remember when I was actually on my first job, I had to uh, register to get my first laptop from the organization. And I remember the storekeeper used to be the king because he had the control over the resources. What will I get? What kind of a quality laptop will I get? Will it be a new one or will it be an old one? All right. Will it be completely upgraded, or just because I'm a rookie, I will be given that kind of a laptop that I can just work around with? So that's something he had control over the resources. AI completely disrupted the equation. Today, information is no longer scarce. You just have to put the right prompt. The internet is over there to be scavenged. They are actually mining every nook and corner of the internet world and giving you information that was actually research oriented a few years back. Knowledge is no longer exclusive. It is not something that you can acquire through a 3-year degree program and a 2 years master's program. It is no longer subject to you doing certifications and going on for MOOC courses and going on for field trainings. Knowledge is there. You just have to acquire that. The exclusivity of this has been lost. Analysis is no longer an expert only job. Type a prompt to, let's say, Claude, or type a prompt to Chat GPT, give him 2 sheets of data, tell him filter out one column from one and the other column from the other, give me a comparative percentage. Voila, you have the raise index of the entire of the entire human resource of the company. And now you can go ahead and plan the next upcoming incentive cycle. This used to take time, days sometimes. Content creation has now become democratized. Initially, you had to carry a good team of designers and graphically oriented people, videographers, recording takes after takes. AI has literally revolutionized that. And now power has been relocated due to AI fluency. How is this happening actually? Because now you are more resourceful. because now you are more useful, because now you are more creative, because now you have multiple choices of presenting something in different fashions, the power game has shifted suddenly. What used to take time initially is now being done in minutes. The decision making has become fast. And when decision making speeds up, the decision creates space for more choices. And ultimately, the person who is able to deliver more choices is the winner. So, when I say this, that the ability to create disproportionate influence, I really mean it. It is a game now. You are able to influence the decision makers with so many choices, with so many, I'll say, creative thought processes. You have the power to influence that person. And when you have so many ideas, your visibility automatically improves. Your value through the superior interaction with an artificial intelligence is now granting you power that you had to earn earlier by years of grind. So now, when you look at all the things that are mentioned below, strategic thinking, contextual intelligence, systems that used to think on themselves, they were designed so well by leaderships that used to think properly. The communication architecture that has been created in an organization has changed. Ambiguity that used to remain for days has now turned into outcomes on a very fast basis. And above that, due to artificial intelligence literacy, we are seeing a new professional superpower germinating. And the surprising factor with this is that this is being done by a generation that barely has experience, what we in our general terms call the Gen Z. Now, why is this a problem? The reason for this being a problem is that if you look at from a broader perspective, initially what used to happen was when expertise becomes accessible, decision making becomes democratized, and everybody suddenly has the access to the same AI tools. The answer to the problem becomes fascinating. It means power does not disappear, it simply relocates, and it relocates to those who know how to work with AI most effectively. This is a situation where rather than converting years of knowledge, you just have to type prompts. Your language typing skills can be excellent, and voila, you're there. You're the change maker in the organization. Let's consider a simple scenario. Two employees, same role, same experience, same education, same platform, same organizational resources. But then you start seeing a stark difference between the performances of both the individuals. You're seeing one is delivering better proposals, the other one is the other one is not up to the mark. Better reports from one, better research from one, better presentations from one, better strategic recommendations from one. Why? Not because this individual knows more, but for the simple reason he is not working hard. He is not getting into the system of the process late into the night, sitting for hours, one sitting 6 hours, 8 hours, forgetting dinners. No, nothing sorts. It's only that he has the power that he's asking the right set of questions. And not to the human, to a machine that he has accessibility to 24/7, 365 days a year. He doesn't even need to head into the office. A simple phone call or a WhatsApp message by the superior. In the next hour, he's ready with whatever is required just because he's filtered out the process, what to put in order to create something. In the previous decades, we used to value computer literacy, internet literacy, digital literacy. Now we are actually counting on AI literacy. It's becoming the power center. Is strategic thinking. It's contextual intelligence. You no longer leave the traditional communication architecture that I have to go through a certain channel, not required. You have the delivery, direct access is being granted. In other words, prompting is now becoming a mechanism for converting knowledge into influence. And it is being rewarded. You are getting possession of advantages, you are getting possession of rewards, accessibility to physical resources, accessibility to information that you had to gather through years of experience in the traditional model. AI era has extracted the superior prompter from the system anywhere in it and put him or her on the higher pedestal. This is the power of using prompts properly. So if one understands how the structure of prompts works, provides context to it, is able to refine the outputs bit by bit, every potential result after result, automating the systems, being able to knit that entire conversation with GPT properly, he is able to generate strategic insights. And that gets converted into a faster, smarter, and more comprehensive result in contrast to the peers who are actually now in the traditional mode. So the difference is not intelligence, by the way, huh? It's only AI leverage. When information starts to flow in the reverse channel, opportunities begin to flow. Recognition becomes more easily accessible. It is concentrating around these people. And this is not a conspiracy, ladies and gentlemen. It is not a manipulation. It is certainly in any way not a deliberate attempt to make other people look bad and you looking good. No, it is just being able to access what is readily available to everybody to the best of its use. But the problem in our title begins now. Till it is being used only for generation of results, it is an absolutely brilliant strategy to promote, reward those who are bringing up excellent results using artificial intelligence. But as soon as this goes into the mainstream system of the organization, what happens is it starts becoming a tool for a new age politics. Now, if you look at the traditional office politics structures, we've been working on this for so many years now. Pre AI era, it always used to be the person who has the influence, the person who has the control over the decision, the control over the finance, being able to place his pawns on the chessboard wherever he or she desired. This has suddenly collapsed. And now, as the power is going into the hands of those who earned it only by usage of artificial intelligence, a strong issue of misuse of this power is coming to light. Yeah, definitely accelerates growth. It makes things move faster. But now it has started creating a big divide, a new divide. Those who can effectively command AI and those who cannot. The first group then becomes increasingly influential. The second one becomes increasingly dependent. When influence becomes concentrated, you start seeing workplace dynamics. Knowledge starts getting shared in a declining fashion. So, what is working exclusively for one group then starts getting hidden from the remaining group. Knowledge transference gets blocked, effective usage gets blocked, AI expertise then starts getting hoarded. Teams may compete for access to the best prompts, but at the end of the day, how many can you actually create from a third party system? How many can you buy them out? How many trainings can you get done? At the end of the day, it is a certain expertise that has leverage to those, that gives leverage to those who use it effectively. So these new informal AI elites are emerging the power centers these days in organizations. And what you're observing is a new form of office politics, which is beginning to take shape, not around information actually, not around relationship management, not around hierarchy alone. Now it is becoming core-centered to AI capabilities itself. And if it is not put into check now, what will it result in is that it may become a serious issue for the next decade. And however, so much we try to actually get rid of it, we would have created certain systems that we would not be able to do without until and unless a new revolutionary technology comes in that brings in the humanoid factor again, right? So that is why prompt power is no longer just a technical issue. It has now become a leadership issue. It has become a cultural issue. It has become an organizational design issue. Risk creating new inequalities in our HR structures. It's new age politics. And the problem is that which is being given to those people who do not even have the right years of experience to be able to understand human needs. There should be a certain humanity in competition as well. That is understood over the period of time. That is understood working with human beings and being able to give them work, extract work from them, understanding their qualities and their deficits. At that juncture, humanity in competition works. But once you are actually giving power of result extraction to those who have not had much interaction with humans in a workplace, you're intending to enforce structures that are going to be working around only work, 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 faster deliveries expectations, faster result expectations, faster revenue generation. You're able to do that. Not everybody is able to. The human factor in the HR will soon lose its ground. Let's move forward and try and understand how this actually is going to pose a threat in the near future. Now, the new age of office politics. What was hierarchy driven influence has now turned into capability driven influence. What used to be information ownership has now suddenly got converted into intelligence amplification. What used to come from authority has now come from adaptability. And what used to come from expert exclusivity has now become AI fluency and prompt mastery. Whenever the rules change, uncertainty flows. AI is changing the rules. And this is what it is leading into. Hoarding prompts. Employees quietly build their personal prompt libraries, AI workflows, instead of sharing them. Now, prompts have become intellectual capital, which would be used as tools for career accelerators. Visibility inflation. When AI enhance the work, it makes it look very sophisticated, up to date, and what we call as colloquial slick. It makes the work look slick. Organizations may start rewarding that appearance. They might find that, oh, glossy, shining presentations on the screen, visually appealing content, beautifully designed videos, high quality analysis and graphs coming on the screen, perception. With a click of a finger, you can see the change. Algorithmic influence on the networks. So all those employees which are AI fluent now become informal centers of power. New you see people who have the capability now with people start connecting with those that remaining connected on social media people who in their capacity are the power influencers in the nations. We'll see people who are not these line. It's going to be in the we're going to study it in life as well.
Okay. So Jitangshu might have disconnected due to a network issue. We will just wait for him a little bit to come back. Okay. Jitangshu, we lost you a little bit there. You were disconnected for a short moment. There might be some
Not an issue. Am I still connected?
uh yes, right now. Yeah. But your screen
All right. Am I
is,
still audible to you?
yeah, not quite audible, maybe due to the network loss.
All right. Is it working now?
Yes, it is now.
Sure. So I was saying the connectivity, even on the social media platforms, you will see that these people are connected with only those people who have the decision making capacity. Now you are creating a new era, attrition crisis also for yourself. People will hop jobs. Whoever is paying more, you will run to that person. You will see people changing jobs at the click of the fingers like this. This everybody is result hungry, and the speed is all that matters these days. So when I say that this is a power game only in the organization, I am not limiting it only to your organization. It is becoming a cross or industry cross organization power politics. The effects may not be very visible right now because AI in its complete capacity has given us access to information, but still the accessibility of AI and its usage is still largely limited. By the time it become global acceptance, you would see new challenges for HR in terms of attrition, especially when you're working with aspiring individuals who have gained knowledge for the central motive of money. And largely, the last problem that would arise, Phil, is the presentation on
It's come. Yeah, it just came up. Okay.
authenticity conflicts. Did you really create that? When these questions increase in the organization, trust becomes eroded. And ultimately, who's the suffering party? The organization. Trust begins to decline. So what was actually being rewarded earlier is now creating a trust issue amongst the same employees. just because it remained unchecked. It was left to blossom. And now it has created something which is a serious issue, the generational battle nobody intended it to be. For the first time, for the first time in history, five generations may work together simultaneously, each interpreting AI differently. Five generations. Senior professionals versus where you're seeing experience and judgment, relationships, business wisdom, and risk management as the core value factors, a sudden 360-degree shift you're observing in the younger professionals. They are prompting, they are speed oriented, and they are highly, highly adaptable. They are accepting change. They are happy to get busy with innovation. They are members of the digital age where they have AI fluency as a core part of their education. And they have the AI leverage. Senior professionals may see AI enthusiasm as recklessness. Younger professionals may see caution as a resistance to change. With such distinct mindsets, working in the same office on a single project from two different ends of the game, it's a HR nightmare to make these people sit together on the same conference table. One has earned the power in the organization, one has been awarded that power based out on their technical fluency. The friction is clearly evident. We are facing these challenges on a daily basis in corporates these days. Senior employees just do not want to work with the Gen Z. Gen Z find senior management too slow to be able to give a decision on their ideas. I really don't understand how we're going to strike balance when this is become the norm in the next few years. So are we looking at a situation where a common project meeting is going to look like this, that the project lead is going to first have a conversation with the senior members, then he's going to have a discussion with the middle level managers, and then he's going to call in the executives and the youngsters, take the insights of everybody, then stitch it together, and then arrive at the problem rather than making everybody meet in the same conference and having a decision. Look at the timeline that you are extending for yourselves. Look at the extra effort that you'll have to put to solve a single problem that can be discussed at the same table and can be sorted in minutes. So, what in terms of business and revenue creation is generating things like this in minutes? In a few years, will result conflicts that would require days to get solved. So, ultimately, what are we achieving out of it? We're coming to the same standing point for which artificial intelligence was created: speed up things. Why the AI projects fail despite executive support? Because largely the employees in the system fear irrelevance. Managers are feeling the fear of loss of authority. Experts are fearing the loss of exclusivity. Departments are fearing the loss of transparency. And middle management is fearful of redundancy. So ultimately, if we let it remain unchecked, we are creating a sense of fear at every level. These may appear to be technology related problems, but in reality, they have become trust issues. I've had a case, ladies and gentlemen, where a senior management employee was talking to me and said, Jadanshu, I cannot trust these youngsters when they are bringing in the data. We have to double filter it. We have to verify every single statement that they have come brought in the presentation because we just don't know from where they are sourcing it. And tomorrow it can become a legal tangle for us. And then I said, but you gave him the task and said, bring it quickly. Yeah, I did that, but does not mean he does not check it. Mika, then why did you ask him to use AI? And I was looked at, stared at Phil for like about 10 seconds. And it's like, yeah, I don't know the answer to this question. So when you're breeding fear in something you wanted to cure, then what are you achieving out of it? So I'm not advocating that AI should not be used, but ultimately look at what it is creating now. The new political factor is that something which would have brought in from the right channel did not need to get verified because it is coming through the system. Now the final authority is just going to view that, and this is the truth. Now we can believe on it and take a decision. Now the decision makers are verifying the entire data all on themselves. Then why did you ask them to make it? This is something which is going to become a problem for the HR systems in the near future. So that is where we need to work around development of systems where trust is there, right? At every level. So technology is compliant, it is used effectively in the system, and at the same time, it is not creating trust factors. So how are you going to do that? This is going to be the new HR mandate. AI literacy for everyone, not just the technology teams. Every employee needs to be using AI, developing AI fluency, so that as the work is progressing upwards, every checkpoint is a verification point, and ultimately everybody is a part of that system, accountable to the decision. Prompt democratization, sharing prompt libraries, communities where we can discuss case study problems, we can create artificial scenarios, we can create future related scenarios, create centers of excellence only for prompting, leverage it, take out time from being into using these 1 hours to create such fun activities and games where prompting can be improved. Larger libraries are available. It is a shared system. It is on your company ERPs. And this is going to be something that is going to help the organization have better transparency. The performance designing would have to be redesigned. How? Now you cannot just judge how quickly you are doing the work or how quickly you are bringing in artificial intelligence used creativity. There has to be an ethics policy in place, a creativity policy in place, a collaboration policy in place, and largely, what value addition is it doing to the organization? When you're going to put in SOPs in and around this political scenario will get diluted. Everything will be measured properly. Everything will have certain criteria of measurement, and they would be rewarded based out on those measurements. It is a time taking task, but yes, once it is done digitally, it is going to create systems which will be foolproof. And it would also motivate those who are resistant to change to be able to learn this because now it is connected directly to something that they work hard for 12 months together. And largely, the human AI collaboration models would have to be brought into place. The HR systems have to design this that whenever humans are involved, the human touch should prevail. It is not a future of human versus AI. It is a future of human plus AI. We need to educate everybody that taking something which is technologically available as a tool to move together is in the interest of the entire organization. And if the organization is benefiting, everybody would. Vice versa does not work. And from the context of the leadership, the future leaders must become the change architects. They need to adapt and adopt quickly. They will have to be trust builders. They will have to be cultural designers. They will have to be workforce transformation strategists. They will have to be AI adoption champions and largely psychologically safe leaders. Initially, it would look very exciting. Newer challenges in place. In contrast to your peers, you're doing better. Have more responsibility on the shoulders. It looks very exciting. Makes you very curious. But as soon as the honeymoon period fades away, fear starts building in. Once fear is there, you're at the same standpoint where the upper management is resistance. This resistance is the point where HRs need to start putting in, injecting confidence building measures to convert that resistance into acceptance and finally acceptance into commitment. And at the center of everything will remain the one word trust. If trust is established and maintained, HR structures can literally take the boat through a storm if they're motivated to do that. If you hear people saying that there is a bias based out on your technical fluency in this organization, I am sorry, they'll be the first people to drill a hole in your boat. The real competition advantage of the AI era is depending first and foremost on human intelligence. Humans are the ones who have created artificial intelligence. They cannot be bypassed. Once you start looking at mechanical intelligence, digital intelligence, superior to human intelligence, I am sorry, the structure has failed there and there itself. But I'm not saying stick only to human intelligence. You'll remain redundant. The industry is going to flush you out. Revenues are going to drop. Costs are going to escalate. You will not remain relevant. Industry will flush you out automatically. So your second bet is on complying onto AI intelligence. Then merging them together and creating systems where emotional intelligence prevails. Collaborative intelligence is the future. As soon as our HRs understand this, apply this, prompt it to the leadership, it will be better for the organizations. Otherwise, you will have computers in the offices, you will have server rooms in the offices, but no humans to run them. Or your humans would be sick in sick bay with psychological issues of anxiety management, stating that I'm unable to maintain my focus because I'm fearing that somebody who is lesser inexperienced than me will get the promotion or will be taken up on board for the next project, and I would be left out because I do not know how to use artificial intelligence. Collaborative intelligence would germinate organizational intelligence. How to motivate whom and by what means is going to be the next challenge of the new age HR. So those who need a digital push would be required to be given a digital push. Those who would be required to give a resistance change, they would be required to be given that. And those who would be required to tame their horses down just because things are moving fast have to be trained to understand humans. Ladies and gentlemen, every business in this world is by the humans, for the humans, to the humans. Your employees are humans, your financiers are human, your clients are human, your customer is human. How can you negate the human factor? So transform this fear into change, transform it into confidence, resistance into participation, and prompts into collective capability. If you're able to do this, if you're able to achieve this, we are looking at organizations which would be unstoppable. Unstoppable is the word I say. AI and taming AI for your benefit is not something that can only be done by companies who have the largest technology budgets, but it will be done successfully by those who learn how to combine. Combining what? Something that is natural, something that is artificial, merging it together and resulting in what I call as workplace partnerships. So if we are accepting that AI is our partner, having a partnership with it is also crucially important. Safeguard your HR structures from these new age politics, safeguard your people, keep them together, level headed, allow them to accept change, let them move forward together. I'm pretty hopeful the industry will adapt and adopt to these changes quickly. We will have a bright future. The world is looking at very complex problems. We are looking at war, conflicts on a daily basis. We are trying to resolve now. No longer these are regional wars. It is becoming a global threat. Everybody is coming together. It is another form of partnership. We are looking at a future where we are not going to be isolated in our problems. The world problems would become our problems. COVID was one example. Ebola is soon becoming the new one. Global fuel crises are becoming the third. Earthquakes, floods, tsunamis are becoming not just natural calamities in one part of the world, they are global problems. Start looking at your organization from the global perspective, regardless of how small you are. If you are large, start looking at yourself for solving micro level problems because there are the problems which actually stay unattended. Let's work together to develop the world. Let's have a greater responsibility for the near future and let's build something that would generate happiness, sense of security amongst the global citizen. Thank you all for being so patient and listening to me. It is a pleasure delivering this particular account of mine, a research of 10 years. I hope that it will be useful for all of you. Thank you so much for being so patient.
All right, wonderful. Jitasha, thank you so much for that wonderful information that you have shared. It is an information actually that you have worked hard for, and we really are honored. We appreciate so much that you're willing to share those information to the world. So anyone who will be watching this recorded session, you're be very grateful of this wonderful information as this trend or this topic is in trend right now. It's a hot topic that everyone else is really interested to learn. All right. And if you want more information about this topic that we have today, you can connect with Jitanshu through LinkedIn. You can send a connection invite, send him a message that you have watched a recorded session or the webinar in some sort and wanted to connect with him. He's very approachable, so feel free to approach him, and also you can send your informations or email through email, jitanshu 35 at gmail.com. That's JITANSHU 35 at gmail.com. So feel free to reach out and yeah, get yourself an information. All right. So we're open for any questions if there are any. If there are none, then we can move forward. And yeah, we can call this one day, actually. All right. So I think that takes care of everything. Anything coming up, Jitanshu, in the future? Yeah, you can promote any work that you are doing right now, or book you're writing, or a company that you are with.
Yeah, we are doing some work. I would be supplying that on the WhatsApp group soon as we'll be able to complete that. We are into a transition phase. We are also automizing our systems. As soon
Mm.
as we are able to achieve that, I will post the information on the group and that can be accessible from there.
Wow, that's perfect. All right. Okay. So I think that settles everything. Thank you so much again, Jitanshu. And we are really honored that you choose Let Us Talk It, the platform where you wanted to give back to the community as well through your knowledge. All right. So thank you so much for those who have joined and for those who've watched live and will be watching this recorded session. Appreciate your time and effort in watching this webinar. Thank you so much and share the knowledge to the world. Take care and yeah, bye, Jitangshu.
Thank you so much, Phil. Thank you, everybody, for joining in. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone. Goodbye.